And welcome to the Writer's Life, place where you get the sight, sell. And welcome to the Writer's Life, the place where you get the sight, sounds, smells, tastes of my particular writer's life, and where you get the truth about the writer's life. So, subscribe if you haven't already, the like button, and the bell for notifications so that you don't miss out on even one exciting video. I don't want to talk about that today. Talk about something else. Fuck your fuck your comfort zone. I've been swearing a lot lately. Must be like a thing. I like podcasts where they curse. I like that. I don't know why, but I just do. Probably because when I grew up, watching 3 channels, like if nobody swore or anything like that. Anyway, it's so liberating to be able to say it, say the F bomb. Anyway, yeah, the comfort zone. Too many people. Oh, I see it among friends. I see it among acquaintances. I see it among way too many people. They just have a comfort zone, and they end up living their lives, work, TV, lying on the couch, bed, work, TV, bed, work, TV, bed, work, TV, bed, 2 weeks vacation a year, go to Disney, maybe go to Cape Cod or something, like occasionally, maybe, we're going to go to, we're going to go to Europe for a couple weeks, and that's great. I didn't want that. And that was one of the reasons also. I mean, a lot of times you can't. I mean, if you have a career as like a lawyer or an accountant or whatever, you're occupied with your working life for 45 years or something like that, and 50 years, and that is your life. You only get, maybe half of Saturday off, and you get all of Sunday, whether you like it or not. So in a way, you kind of can't help but fall into that like comfort zone thing. And all you want to do when you get home is have a cocktail and kick your feet up and just watch mind-numbing television or whatever, or Netflix or whatever, And I'm not putting myself on a pedestal because I don't live that way. I don't begrudge anybody who lives that way, because you kind of, like I said, you kind of fall into it. You almost can't help it. It's just the way it is. And even me, I live an unconventional lifestyle. That's cost me a few relationships, more than a few, and but it's worth it to me, having done so, because I feel like I'm living life to its fullest. Um, but that doesn't mean like I don't have my comfort zones either. Like I'm like brutally strict with my daily regimen. Like up at 7, my 2 or 3 hours writing, 2 hours working out. Um, Now I don't eat lunch anymore. So whatever. You know, Another writing sprint after I shower. Um, Nap at like 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock. I'm back at my desk, and quit at 4:30 or 4:40, and have the one beer, and then go out and have a couple of beers, and then come back, cook dinner, and then that's when I might watch a little Netflix, but not much, and then I'll read, go to bed. Now, rinse and repeat. I do that even in Europe and stuff like that, except when I'm adventuring, and then when I'm adventuring, all bets are off, and there's talk about not being in your comfort zone. Like 4 or 5 hours sleep at night at most, getting up at dark 30, um, even just to take like a quick run. I remember in Ukraine just before the war. At this point, that's how we can put it. I would get up like at 4 o'clock, and in the cold, run in Kiev, um, up to the capital and back. Um, and then have a little breakfast and go wherever we're going to go that day. And I've done that in a million places. I'd get up at dark 30 in Cairo and run, and it was one of the stupidest mistakes I ever made because I got surrounded by a pack of wild dogs. I was like, what do I do now? They're going to bite my balls off. Luckily, a soldier was like right nearby, and he started slapping him with the butt of his rifle, and he's like, don't ever. He was scolding me something fierce. Um, he was like, what the hell are you thinking? Um, and he was right. He's like, don't ever go outside, like at this time of day or whatever. I was like, oh, okay. But anyway, people will ask me, like, why do you take these crazy trips? Like, why do you go to these weird places? In a few months, I'll go to Iraq and Kurdistan. My friend's there now. He's the same way. Like, he's been to like 150 countries. Like, he's just like, he's like, I don't care. I just want to be out of my element and, whatever. And that's the way to live life. And Iraq and Kurdistan will be quite the experience because you can guarantee I'm not going to be going out in the morning for jogs there. Anyway, but my point to this whole thing is it's important to, no matter what you do in life, you got to like see everything, try to do everything, experience everything, not as a challenge to anybody else, not to make yourself look like you're better than them, not to make yourself look special or anything like that. It's to fulfill something. It's you only get this. Life is so short that you just don't want to be that person. You do not want to be that person who comes to the end of it, whether it's like an early disease that might take you in middle age, or you happen to live, pretty much a full life, and you realize, wow, I didn't do shit. I didn't do shit. What I thought was important really wasn't important. I wasn't ever going to starve. I wasn't ever not going to have a roof over my head. So, I can't impress upon people enough just to maybe reconsider what if they're happy or not, and if they're not, make a change. Just go, buy a plane ticket, just go. Just a small story. I remember in my last relationship, the woman I was with wasn't feeling emotionally fulfilled for some reason. I forget what the reason was, but she's like, "Oh, I want to see this concert together," and I was like, "All right." I don't really believe in that stuff much because you basically what people will do is they try to see it. They go from counselor to counselor to counselor, and until they find one who tells them what they want to hear, and then they're like, "Oh, this person's good," like so whatever. So anyway, we're talking. I had one session with this person, and I have my significant other there, and I'm there, and we're talking about like my travels and stuff, and I guess she must ask me something along the lines of like, "Why do you feel the need to do this? You have a family at home. You have this. You have that. You have your responsibilities and all this." And I was like, I have to do it. Like, I can't live any other way. I need to be on the road 3 months a year or whatever. I need to go to Italy. I need to go to France. I need to go to Turkey, and I need to go to Vietnam, and I need to do this or that. And she's like, she looks at me and she's like, "Oh my God, it's that eat, pray, love thing, isn't it? I hate that shit." And I was like, "I'm done. Have a good life." And I got up and I left. And we never went back, and nor did my then significant other ask me to go back. And I, I was like, "You're full of shit, lady." Like, if that's what makes me happy, that's what I'm going to do. And if that's what makes me feel fulfilled, that's what I'm going to do. If it helps my writing, that's what I'm going to do. And I went into that relationship with the other person, with the significant other, knowing full well that that's the way I lived my life. So I felt no regret, no remorse. Anyway, I'm rambling again. But anyway, force yourself to get out of your comfort zone sometimes, even if it means this weekend I'm going to get up at 5 o'clock every single morning, and I'm going to jog for 2 miles. And it's going to be cold. It's going to be wet. It's going to be snotty. It's going to be uncomfortable. But I will have upset my comfort zone. Give it a shot. All right, you guys. We'll come to you tomorrow. I believe tomorrow's Thursday already. How about that? It's chilly in here. It's getting cold. All right, I'll talk to you guys tomorrow. Ciao, ciao.